Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
There's something very significant happened yesterday at the Black Star Square or Independence Square, whatever you call it. Okay. What was it? The head of state who had the largest applause, the most emphatic display of public enthusiasm.
Was a 36-year-old.
Ibrahim Traore.
He was a Western cowboy.
Yes, Ibrahim Traore. Clearly. No, I mean,
not that.
That should say something.
That. Oh,
you understand?
No,
but that should say something.
Something
in fact, the Speaker of Parliament,
a cowboy.
The Speaker of Parliament,
call him cowboy, call him whatever. The endorsement, the public endorsement, as far as you can.
He had the loudest applause.
The loudest applause, the loudest enthusiasm.
Okay.
We've seen it all before. I am very cynical and skeptical about these characters.
Okay.
We've seen it all before. Okay. You've seen more than.
No problem, no problem. So, please. But for the moment yesterday,
he was a man.
All the so-called democratically leaders and so on did not get the kind of endorsement that Ibrahim Traore got at Independence Square. And that's a statement.
I'm struggling to get the logic of your point. What is it? That the Ghanaian community...
No, not just the Ghanaian community.
No, we're a majority there. The people clapping. Majority, obviously, were Ghanaians, Ghanaian citizens.
Okay.
What were they endorsing?
What they were endorsing? They were endorsing a struggle against neocolonialism. They were endorsing a struggle for African people to take hold of their resources and to exploit it for their own benefit. They were endorsing a regime which is saying no to foreign military bases on African soil and so on. Those were the things they were endorsing. Now, democracy, I'm saying that democracy must yield something that the people want.
Right.
Because democracy in our lifetime and throughout the world on many occasions has yielded things that are against the interests of the people. Clearly, so-called democracy. And in any case, if you come to test for ingredients in this so-called democracy, you find it lacking in many of the countries in West Africa.
We fought for this. Why did we fight to restore constitutional normalcy and multi-party democracy? Why? Why did we do that? We put our lives on the line.
Yes.
Some died, actually.
Yes.
Some died.
Many died.
Yes.
But
so why did we do that?
No, Kweku. We did that in expectation of certain results. We did that believing that it will yield dividends to the population.
I'm sure.
Now, if 30 years later we do an examination and find that what we struggle for is not yielding the dividends we want, are we not entitled to change our minds?
How do you do the change? Because I know you will
I don't have a gun. I'm not a soldier.
Did you see that?
You know, yes. I cannot organize a coup d'etat and so on. I cannot.
But I know you will not endorse or prescribe coup d'etat.
Under certain circumstances, I will.
In this constitutional
look, for example.
The only time I would endorse coup d'etat is the counter coup d'etat, as Nkrumah himself said.
No, Kweku, let me give you another example. If we go to the elections, and we elect a government of our choice, and the previous government refuses to hand over, that will be justification for a coup d'etat. When the avenues for legitimate expression of the people is closed, you open the floodgates for coup d'etat.
This is a hypothesis I would not want to interrogate.
Why?
Because it wouldn't happen. And our history has vindicated that point. We've had about 8 or 9 transitions with all its challenges. And many of those transitions, that's why I made a point that even 2 election petitions came on board. We have found a way of deepening the democratic consolidation exercise. We should not contemplate, and because your scenario wouldn't happen, I tell you, no Ghanaian...
We cannot have a Bukasa as head of state in Ghana.
It's not going to happen.
How do you come to that conclusion?
That's why I said I won't interrogate.
We will have a Bukasa in Ghana anytime.
Anyway, we want to use this occasion to congratulate Randy Abbey for finally getting Cocoa Board CEO job. Initially, it was reported that he was going to go to GNPC. That didn't happen, and now he's at Cocoa Board.
Well, I've said that I have no words of encouragement for Randy.
Right.
And I know that Cocoa Board is a very difficult place. So if I have anything for Randy, it is pity. I really pity the young man. I don't know why he has brought this upon himself. You understand? Currently, cocoa production has gone down by about 50%. There are reports of intense smuggling of the product. Galamsey is posing a huge threat to the cocoa, and it's even suspected that when chemical analysis are done, we may find that Ghana's cocoa has problems because of the Galamsey's impact on cocoa farming and so on. Last year, they didn't get a syndicated loan. So cocoa purchasing has become quite a serious headache. Cocoa farmers are agitating for better producer prices and so on. I mean, that's an industry which is in huge crisis. In fact, LBCs are closing down and are being replaced by foreign buying companies. It's a huge problem. I mean, we used to have a lot of LBCs and so on. They are all closing down, because of the general situation in which the cocoa industry is. And so if somebody is appointed chief executive of Cocoa Marketing Board, I think he has to be pitied. And I have tons of pity for my very good friend Randy Abbey.
Now, this is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says. He says, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is also the 2024 New Patriotic Party presidential candidate, dismissed claims that the National Democratic Congress government deserves credit for the CD's recent gains. Speaking during this thank you tour in London, Dr. Bawumia challenged the NDC to point to any policy they have implemented that directly influenced the currency's recent strength.
Who is speaking?
Yes, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Are you sure it's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia?
Yes. He's in the UK as we speak.
And he's saying those
Yeah,
things?
he's saying these, yes.
Under his watch?
Yes.
The cedi's value fell from 3 cedis 40 pesos to $1.
Yes.
To 16 cedis to $1.
Yes.
Does he know how to revive the cedi?
In fact, 17.
Thank you. So does he know how to revive the cedi? He was sitting there in power for 8 years, 8 long years. At the end of the 8 years, the value of the cedi was 17 to $1. What right has he got to be lecturing us about how to manage the value of the cedi? Given his experience, what right has he got to be lecturing us, to be giving us these lectures and so on? You see, these chaps, these politicians, look, what do they take us for? They think that we're all just a bunch of yo-yos. He is giving us lectures on how to stabilize the cedi after his performance, the performance of his government. I can't believe it.
But he says there was a seed that was sown some time back, 2 years ago. No, 2020, so that's about 3 years ago. The seed has germinated and is bearing fruit. The cedi has stabilized. The cedi is gaining strength over the major trading currencies. Why don't you credit me for this?
In the first month of his assumption of the office, is he not the same person who was telling us how he has arrested the cedi or the dollar and giving the key to IGP? You take these people serious? Master, do you take them serious? Let's be real. Do you take them serious? They should stop these lectures. I mean, we are fed up with these lectures.
The point has to be made forcefully that President Mahama has done absolutely nothing wrong. Why do I say that? The President receives a petition, 3 different petitions at first. The Constitution says that the President has the duty, a constitutional duty for that matter, to refer that petition to the Council of State. The question we should be asking is whether or not those 3 petitions were referred to the Council of State in accordance with law. The answer is yes. The question is whether or not the law imposed a duty on the President to give copies of the said petition to the Chief Justice the answer is no. But you know what the Chief Justice did? You see, she will have a day before the 5-member committee. But the Chief Justice, believing that she was law unto herself, and that her understanding and interpretation of law in itself would have to be a procedure, then wrote to the president, obviously copying people who were not even relevant to the discussion, and asking that, you know what, Mr. President, as Chief Justice, I have had the opportunity to preside over 5 similar petitions requesting for the removal of Superior Court judges. And what I did in my case was that I gave copies of the petition to these judges. They responded before I made a determination of whether or not there is a prima facie case to answer. And so by reason of that, give me copies of the petition, and in 7 days I will respond. President Mahama had every right, howsoever described, at that stage not to even respond to the Chief Justice, because he was not mandated in law at that stage to give her.
But you know that has been contested by your colleague lawyers.
Which one?
I know Vincent went to court. Yes.
Please don't interrupt my.
No, you
discussion.
can't tell me. No, you can't tell me not to do that.
You know,
you can't tell me not to do that.
And this point also brings me,
because that's how.
And maybe
you guys,
yeah,
you learned colleagues play with the law.
You see, and at this
he
point,
said it's legal to provide the Chief Justice
at this point,
based on which he went to court, that it is not fair to have petitions against her and she doesn't know the content of the petition she's coming to respond to.
I will address that, but at this point, I think that if the Chief Justice is watching me, I think she has to change her lawyers, if she has any. Because it appears to me that from the approach she's adopting, she's getting wrong counsel. And I'm hoping that Godfrey Dame is not the lawyer. I'm hoping. Or maybe Godfrey Dame will call committee members in line with his unethical practices as we have known him to be. But the point I'm making is that although President Mahama was not obligated to, he obliged the Chief Justice. And you know what he did? He did not just give her the 7 days. He even magnanimously added 3 extra days and gave her 10 days and said that you can respond if you so wish to this petition. The Chief Justice responded. And then again, the merit or the content of her response or responses to all those 3 petitions are not material to this discussion at all. After her response, the Council of State found that the prima facie case has been established against her. And so, the President, again, in accordance with Constitution, says that may suspend the Chief Justice. And the President carried out the constitutional obligation. What else are people expecting President Mahama to do?
Well, first of all, I haven't heard yet anybody make a case of constitutional violation against the President. Nobody has made that case. So there is no constitutional violation as far as I'm concerned. But I think it is not correct also just to dwell on the constitutional provisions in these matters. Because beyond the constitutional provisions are questions of public morality and so on, which may not be in black and white and so on. There are matters which ought to be discerned and so on. So as far as the Constitution is concerned, there's no infraction. Now, there is talk of precedent, this setting a very dangerous precedent. And I'm completely lost. Because I recall that a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago, 9 years ago, and so on, all of us continuously made the point that the impeachment of public officers, those who hold constitutionally designed positions, ought to be done carefully. Otherwise, it will set a precedent. And I remember us making this case very strongly in the Charlotte Osei case. You know, Charlotte Osei and others. We made it so strongly. It was ignored. Now, if some precedent was set, that precedent has been set already. It is not new. You understand what I'm saying? Right. That precedent has been set already. Now, I recall very clearly that at the time, the argument which was made in support of the president's actions was that the office of the president in matters of this nature only acts as a post office box. That argument was made very strongly.
A conveyor belt.
A conveyor belt. And that when the president receives a petition, he cannot do anything about it but forward it to the Council of State, and then all the actions are triggered. That was the argument which was made. Now, surprisingly, when President Akufo-Addo got a petition against the sitting Chief Justice calling for her removal, he took a decision not to act on it.
Yes.
You understand? So if the earlier position was correct, how come that in the case of the Chief Justice, he did not act? Because in his view, the petition did not have merit. In the president's view, the petition did not have merit.
There was a second reason.
Yeah.
The second reason was that you're talking about the Professor Kwekwaza one. He said Professor Kwekwaza had made it public, and that in itself was against the rules of the game.
Whatever it is,
yes,
the president could make a decision not to proceed.
Yes.
Earlier we had been told that he had no option but to act.
So your question is which is which?
No, that's not exactly my question. What I'm saying is that if the president acts differently, in the case of Charlotte Osei, from his position of the Chief Justice, it does suggest a certain bias. And out of that bias may arise a suspicion of political coloring and so on. Okay, so all these things happened before President Mahama assumed office.
To begin with, citing Justice Shremsai's pronouncements and that of Domelovo do not in any way undermine the fight against corruption that we have waged. To begin with, if the Deputy Attorney General says, the mere fact that you've acquired land at what is perceived to be a ridiculously low price does not in itself constitute a crime or an act of corruption, that is trite knowledge. Moro, it is trite knowledge. The mere act itself on the surface won't constitute a crime. But if it is investigated and found that the actors involved deliberately compromised their position and gave the land to you because of political connection, and that the land was valued at a certain price but was sold to you at a knockdown rate due to political considerations, that is where the crime will be. So that is why it requires investigation. So if tomorrow we woke up and learned that you bought some government property around Metro TV here for 10,000 Ghana cedis, that in itself doesn't mean that you've committed a crime. But if we find that the officer in charge knew that this land was $1 million, and because you are his friend or his crony, he gave it to you at 10,000, then there's an issue to investigate. So that the official who did that will be held liable for the action. That is essentially what the Deputy Attorney General says. And how does this detract from the fight against corruption? Again, I listened to the program on Joy News where Mr. Domelovo spoke. And in fact, the exact quotation has been published on Manjaro Online. So anybody interested can read. What he said was that from the very onset, everybody knew that the oral committee set up by President Mahama, which in any event was set up before President Mahama took office, and therefore could not have had any legal mandate anyway to do any prosecution or even investigation, was set up just to collate information from the people of Ghana or anybody who had it and process same for the use of the Attorney General once he is appointed. In fact, I put out that statement. Again, anybody who goes to my Facebook wall or Twitter page can download this statement and read it. It was very, very clear. In fact, the exact description I used was that it was a preparatory team. And to the extent that they didn't have any legal mandate, on what basis were they going to conduct investigations? So their mandate was very clear. Nobody who is being truthful could have been in doubt what the remit of their work was. It was said that if you, Moro, had evidence that Paul had engaged in any act of corruption, bring it. If you have what you believe to be evidence, add it. It will be sifted through, and then what is deemed to be workable will be then given to the Attorney General once he takes office. That is precisely what happens. So it is entirely possible that people will bring information that you can consider as garbage or rubbish. Yeah. And those people who worked in that committee were in no doubt that that could happen. It is a reason why after they submitted their report, the Attorney General gave it to accredited state agencies to conduct investigations into and find which ones merit further action. There has never been a period where anybody said that the over 2,000 complaints that they receive, all of them could be prosecuted. Nobody can think that way. They whittled it down to about 280 cases. Even then, there's no guarantee that all 280 cases will master scrutiny in court. So, for me, we are splitting hairs over nothing. We are wasting precious time on what is so obvious. But perhaps it is a tactic adopted by those who want to see the fight fail, in order to obfuscate the issues and draw us into a discussion of tangential, insignificant matters when the real issues are pending. So Mr. Dumelovo has not said anything that invalidates the work of the committee. Indeed, I heard one MP claim that the MPP has been vindicated. How does Mr. Dumelovo's statements vindicate you? The Ghanaian people have always demanded action about corruption. He spoke about how corruption was a major issue in the 2000 elections. That in 2016. And of course, in every election. Of course, in every election. And so was it in 2020, so was it in 2024. So was it under President Kufuor in 2008. So was it in 2004 when the Malamisa kickback case emerged. You remember that? President Kufuor's Wawa speech, he came under a barrage of criticism for appearing to endorse corruption when he justified the incidence of corruption in his government. So corruption has always been an issue. But have we as a people, has various governments responded to it in a manner that is satisfactory to the people of Ghana? Up until 2024, the people of Ghana thought no. So anybody who wanted to lead this country needed to make a firm commitment to addressing that particular concern. Then came in oral, Operation Recover All Route. And President Mama says, look, I have heard the cries of Ghanaians. I, as president, will take steps to ensure that we address this canker of corruption in a manner that is comprehensive, in a manner that makes it a high-risk activity for persons wanting to get into it. So what did he do? It was in a manifesto, captured in there. When he was elected, before he could take over as president formally, he put in place a mechanism to begin work on addressing the issue of corruption under the previous government. So then he set up the oral committee to receive information about acts of corruption and process that information. So it was raw material. Nobody could take that to court to seek conviction unless and until subsequent work had been done to establish firmly whether or not the allegations are true and whether there's basis, there's evidence to support him. That is what happened. When he took over, indeed a ceremony was held where the report of oral was then handed over to the Attorney General. He gave it to the NIB, the police CID, sometimes the National Signals Bureau is involved, sometimes the National Security itself is involved, and the Attorney General's office itself, and then Yoko, to look into these matters. And Moro, they won't tell, I'm sure Paul knows because he has his ears to the ground. Dozens, scores of MPP officials have been invited for questioning. On a daily basis, I get briefings, so they will give you a grade showing you who has been called, who has been cautioned, who has been billed. It is not all of them that gain media attention. Perhaps because of the personalities involved, they are not necessarily people who are in the front burner of our politics. So you may not know. But I can tell you, over 80 different people have been interviewed. Some of them have been given bail quietly. Some of them have people standing surety for them. Yes. 80. And more. And it is something that continues to happen. Wow. And let me tell you, all the 280 cases that Ora presented are being looked into. All of them, bar none. So that has been done. There are some that naturally, because of the actors involved and their own attempts to seek support from their base, it gets to the front burner, because when they are invited or arrested, they mobilize people to come and make noise to demand their release and all. So that one naturally is covered by the media. And then sometimes you in the media get wind of it, and so you blow it up, which is okay. But I can assure you that that is happening.
So
I've read
the same Office of the Special Prosecutor has listed assets Mustafa Hamid. You see, in Mustafa Hamid's case, okay, there is a video of what Mustafa Hamid said before Akufo-Addo won elections, right? You have the video, okay?
Yeah.
So when I finish speaking, play it again for the 1,000th time. Let the public refresh their memory, lest they all forget. Now, let me tell you what the court has seized from Mustafa Hamid. The man who cried on TV that he was going to fix Ghana, inshallah. Remember that? Okay. Howard Sinotrack fuel tanker, GT 692624. Sinotrack fuel tanker, GT 670424. Sinotech fuel tanker, GT 623024. Sinotech, Sidetrack articulator head, GN 175924. Sidetrack articulator head, GN 173924. I'm talking about what has been confirmed by the court. Okay. King's Energy Filling Station, Millennium City, completed. King's Energy Filling Station, La Paz, completed. King's Energy, Opekuma, completed. King's Energy Filling Station, Dansuma, completed. Parcel of land, 0.22 acre, La Paz, Okaikwe North, Accra. Parcel of land, 0.20 acre, Odoko, Ablekuma, North, Accra. 0.43 acres, Salaga Road, to the north. Land, Kulikuli School, Tamale, underdeveloped. 1.14 acre parcel of land, Adenta, Accra. Then, if you will indulge me, this is what the court has confirmed, okay? Court has confirmed. And let me repeat that for emphasis. And then yet to be confirmed by the court. The Atlas Suite, Airport City. The address, 1 bedroom, Roman Ridge. The address, studio type, Roman Ridge. The address, studio apartment, Roman Ridge. The Bantry, 1 bedroom, airport residential area. Beyond residence, Roman Ridge, completed. The Monarch, 1 bedroom deluxe, completed on Drake Avenue. The Monarch, 1 bedroom deluxe, Drake Avenue, completed. The Monarch, 1 bedroom deluxe. I'm not recurring, this is not 0.333, different properties I'm talking about. I haven't lost my speech or my train of thought. The Signature Apartment, 10 Boundary Road, and on and on and on. So, Richard, let me give you a piece of advice coming from me to you as a friend who deeply agonized when you had that accident on the Kumasi Road. If I were you, I wouldn't be defending any of this. I have talked to you about what the court has confirmed.
In any case, what are we talking about? The young man, Sami JP himself, has issued a statement in which he apologizes for his indiscretion. Mm-hmm. Who am I to say anything anymore? You understand?
But unfortunately, he's a politician, so his opponents will go after him.
He himself has apologized for his indiscretion. Okay? One of the problems he has is the kind of pedestrian, sometimes stupid defense that some of his friends offer. It is killing him. And if I were him, and if he has any means to advise those friends to stop making that defense, it will be in his interest. For example, to say that he's a kind person and was responding to the needy and so on should not be repeated anywhere again.
Why? But he's kind. He helps the needy.
Akrada is the needy woman.
You never know.
Oh, but you know that she's a needy woman.
I don't know.
So why the introduction? Akrada is a needy woman who is a beneficiary of charity.
We heard you.
They should stop saying that.
We heard you.
They should stop saying that.
Right.
And then the argument that, this is not out of character, and that is a daily occurrence for Sami Jemfi. Stop saying that. You are not doing him any good by saying that. You are crucifying him. You understand? I have a lot of admiration for Sami Jemfi. And it's because he's very articulate. He's so very articulate. He's very logical. He's very combative and so on. There are some aspects of his things that I'm not very comfortable with.
He's going.
Yeah, but on the whole, he's a good communicator. And I think that you cannot look at the victory of the National Democratic Congress and ignore Sami Jemfi. He contributed to it. So he's an important figure. He's done his bit and so on. But stop putting childish defenses in the public domain. Because it infuriates people and it makes the campaign, stimulates the campaign. Some of the things being said should not be said. And I heard somebody say, for example, that, he's always been rich. Abba, stop saying that. What is that? He's always been rich. Where is that coming from?
So, you see, when we talk about, rhetoric, policy, propaganda, this, that, and we should delineate what this person can do and what that person cannot do.
What politicians can do.
How can you delineate when a president puts a chair in an SUV and travels with it behind him? Is that policy? Is that policy? And then when people get upset, you are saying, no, let's not do that, let's not do this, let's not do that. Let me assure you, and I say it categorically here and now, President Mahama is not traveling with the kinds of convoys that Akufo-Addo travels.
There's a video.
There are videos of many things.
Video of President Mahama, if you were seeing it.
There are videos of many things.
I'm calling for you right now.
Paul.
So the person was counting the cars.
The person was counting. That's mischief.
But that's what they're saying.
Paul.
I like the word you use.
Paul.
That's the same mischief that was done. And that's why I say that let's agree on this table. How many cars did the president use? 5 or 6.
Paul.
Then we agree.
Paul, you see?
Yes. It's mischief.
Paul.
And they all do it.
Paul, at a point in time in your life, you were a fixture in President Mahama's house. So you know him as well as I am.
But that's the point I'm coming to.
Please.
But that's the point. You're making a very good point.
Listen.
So it's not about the leader. It's about the system. That's the point I'm coming to.
It's not about the system.
It's about the system.
President Mahama will never allow anybody to put a chair in an SUV and follow him.
No, I'm not saying chair.
That's the leader.
The recent cars had 30.
President
and I can tell you that President Mahama may not have known. You see, it's important we do these things. You are now bringing me to the character of the personality. That's very interesting.
When you have a chair following you in an SUV, you know.
Yes, if you have I don't support a chair following an SUV. But if
when
you
go and sleep, hold on. When you go and sleep in the Prince Alexander suite in Claridge's Hotel for £22,000 a night, you know.
Do other presidents sleep in Claridge's Hotel?
Who? Tell me who did that.
Oh, should we talk about where our presidents sleep?
No.
We don't have to do that. No, we don't have to do that. We don't have to. These are the things we shouldn't do.
Paul.
Because you see, it's not the president that booked the hotel.
You know why, Paul?
It's the state apparatus.
But the president should be important. Paul.
These are the things.
The president should be interested in how the taxpayers' money is spent. That is why we voted him into office.
Absolutely. But now let's come to the question of the DEP that you were raising. Which is a very important question.
Please don't make any excuses for
I'm not making excuses.
Too many people are suffering.
I agree with you.
The person who instituted the DDEP, somebody came to sit on your show and said that you shouldn't come back to Ghana to face what we all faced.
You shouldn't come to Ghana. I don't understand what you're talking about. Who came on my show?
Oh, didn't Kofi Mentel come on your show and say that?
Kofi Mentel has not been on my show. Maybe you mean Newsfile.
Whatever it was.
Yes.
He said that if he were Ken Ofori-Atta, he wouldn't come to Ghana.
That was a Newsfile.
That's on Newsfile. Sorry, I apologize.
Yes.
For those of us who didn't run away, who were terrorized from here to high heaven, you people got a video. I don't know how you got that video of me being arrested when I traveled and came back, and he played it.
I don't get your point.
Why isn't he here to answer the question?
He's been red alerted.
Red alerted for what?
Hasn't OSP
I'm saying that during Paul.
Ken is not here apparently because he's recovering from some illness.
I like the word you use. I like the word you use apparently.
No, apparently because I don't know the facts.
Paul.
I don't know the facts. But I know that he is due to come to
You don't know the facts
of the sick hospital and all that.
Paul,
I don't know that.
I'm saying that. You see, you have spoken about many things, about policy, about this. I'm asking what are the questions I laid out.
So let me answer them.
Very, very, very succinctly.
Yeah, let me answer them.
Which one? That you can have any policy you want. But if you have people with no character, the policy doesn't get anywhere.
So let me answer that.
Let
me answer that. Hold on, let me answer that. You are an engineer.
COVID,
you understand this better than me.
Paul, let me finish.
You have to do the policy such that there is no discretion, or you reduce the discretion. President Akufo-Addo, does he tell himself how much he should be paid? It is decided. It is predetermined. So he comes into office, he takes the president's salary. The salary you are taking now is predetermined before you got there.
Listen. Last year, 2024, the e-levy that we talk about, it's raked in 2.1 billion. E-levy. What this means practically is that the amount of money it took away from the Ghanaian people was 2.1 billion. This new act that he's brought, yesterday he gave us a fiscal impact analysis. He's projecting to get 5.7 billion.
5.4
billion, which is double the price, double the amount.
Not 5.4?
I'm saying you can even use 5.
Or use 4.
No, it's a 5.7. I have it here. I have the fiscal impact analysis on my phone, which is double the amount.
And the reason why I'm saying it's 5.4 because we consume 450.
No, he gave us the figure.
Oh, that's his figure.
He gave us the figure.
I don't know how
I have the
I
fiscal
arrived
impact
at it because
analysis on my
I've been
phone.
doing my own, But anyway, that's fine.
He intends to get 5.7 billion.
Okay.
Which is twice more than the e-levy. So
what's the problem?
So the amount taken out from the Ghanaian people is doubled. It has doubled. His argument, the whole argument is that exchange rate has stabilized. It has come down. So the gains that he's making, he thinks we should share the burden. That's basically what he's saying. All the explanation that he gave on the floor. We're selling at 16 cities. Now it's 13 cities. There's a 3 cities in rainfall. So that 3 cities that is coming to you as an ordinary Ghanaian, give me 1 city. That is basically that's what he's saying. That is it. Listen, I have the bill here, the old bill. Petrol. This is per liter. And people should listen. It's per liter. 1 gallon is 4.5 liters. So when you buy 1 gallon, you are paying 4 cedis, 50 pesos.
Yes.
Per gallon. 4 cedis, 50 pesos per gallon. When a VIP bus buys 30 gallons, you can imagine how much you pay. This is an increase. No amount of explanation by Atufos on the floor. Yesterday we met them. I told Atu, all this explanation you are giving, the bottom line is that you want to increase fuel. That's what you want to do. The only respite he has is that the components, there are a lot of components that leads to the pump price. One of them is having a very positive, favorable outlook, which is exchange rate.
True.
That's all. And the rainfall he's making from there, he thinks he should just put it into another new tax. That's what he's doing. That is exactly what the position he's making.
But what do you find wrong with that?
Oh, so now you don't find it.
I want to know what you find wrong.
It's not strange, Ankwesi. It is not strange.
Let me explain why it is very strange.
It is not, Ankwesi. It is interesting that now you don't find anything strange.
No, I'm not asking you.
It's an increase in
No, I'm asking you. No. You just explained. No, Collins, don't get me wrong.
One component of it.
Yes.
One component. What you are doing is that one component is making a good shortfall, good rainfall.
Yes.
So let me take part of it and push it. Oh, I see.
Honorable.
You are robbing Peter to pay Paul.
I beg you.
That is what you are saying.
Honorable.
That is exactly what Atufos is doing.
When your government was leaving office, what was the price of petrol?
Ankwesi.
Today, what is the price of petrol? Has it increased?
It has gone down because of an exchange rate stabilization.
And shouldn't we benefit from the exchange rate stabilization in order to address other sectors of the national economy?
Let me also tell you.
What are you talking about?
No, Ankwesi.
But that is how the economy is running.
That is not it. Last month, you increased electricity by 14.5%.
Me?
I'm talking government. I'm talking about the government.
No problem, government. But
no, I'm coming.
Honorable.
When
you were leaving office,
it's not about me.
No, your government. When your government was leaving office.
I'm talking about the government.
Hold on.
I am saying that,
Honorable. Very simple. No, don't let us get into this highfalutin things and so
on. No, I have to explain that.
Question.
Yes.
When your government was leaving office, what was the price of petrol? What is the price of petrol today?
It has gone down.
How can you have the moral authority be complaining that the price of petroleum products are going up?
I have every right. No, I have every right to discuss what they brought to Parliament. I have every right to do so. They have increased electricity by 14.57%. They have increased water by 4.02%. They are increasing a liter of fuel by 1 cedi.
Is that why you walked out yesterday?
Oh, Kwesi, as working out as part of the parliamentary process.
No.
We walked out because
I want to understand
we walked out because we don't want to be part of this. That's the basic principle.
Okay.
We don't want to be part of it. We don't want to be part of no amount of explanation. Listen, last year.
No, we haven't answered my question.
I've answered your question.
No, my question is when you were leaving office.
But I've also told you that the price was higher than what we have now. And it is lower now because we have some exchange rate stability. That's fine. But the government is saying that the exchange rate that you are getting, that let's look at a practical example. Dollar was 16 cedis. Now it's 13 cedis.
It went to 17.
17 cedis. Whatever. 17 cedis. And now it's 12 cedis or 13 cedis. You are making a profit of 4 cedis. That 4 cedis that you have as extra income, disposable income, you are being told that 14.57% of that is going to be used to pay electricity. You are being told that 4.02% of that is going to be used to pay electricity, water. You are now also being told that 1 cedi of that is going to be used to pay for electricity, fuel. And you think we shouldn't complain about this?
Honorable, I have a second question. Honorable, I have a second question for you. Can I ask my second question?
Not?
Yes. At the time you were leaving office, the power sector alone was indebted to the tune of almost $4 billion. How do you propose that the incoming administration pays for that debt you left behind? Power sector debt of close to $4 billion. How do you propose that?
It's a very good question. When the minister came to Parliament, even proud to, and last time I was telling you about John's appearance here, nobody should tell us they didn't know what the problem was before they entered government. They were clear in their mind. They knew what the problem was. Atu came to Parliament to read the budget. What impression did he give us? What impression did he give us? He says he's taking off taxes and that there are more innovative ways to rake in money. That's what Atu said. We're here in Parliament. The total amount we got from those places, what he's done now, is double. He has robbed Peter to pay Paul. He has taken e-levy out, brought another e-levy. That's what he's done.
You haven't answered my question.
That's what he's done. Oh, no.
You haven't answered my question.
Uncle, I just want to focus on my point. I'll answer your question. You're asking about ways to do it. Is that not it?
Yes. Show me how else the problem can be solved. Show me.
Uncle, I'm not on the line. Oh. I'm not in government. They are in government. They should be magnanimous enough.
But you have a responsibility, even outside government, to be reasonable. You have a responsibility to be practical. When you are criticizing a certain policy measure, you should have an alternative, a better alternative. Show me your better alternative.
We are being reasonable.
Show me how reasonable you are being when there's a debt of close to $4 billion hanging on our necks.
That debt was there since January when they came to power. That debt was there when he came to Parliament to read his budget. He did not make any provision. Now he is seeing that all the populist thing that he was talking about, any tax with you, any tax with you, is not sustainable. He is back to charge the same tax and even more.
You see, it encapsulates the attitude of the Akufo-Addo administration and the MPP government to dealing with wrongdoing. And it's not just in the case of the Akontama and CID report. We saw it in the case of the Australia visa scandal. There was supposed to be a CID report that was never made public. And yet the president purported to have cleared Pius Ajidi without telling us who actually engaged in that visa racketeering. Because we do know for a fact that visa racketeering occurred. President Akufo was not willing to punish anybody for anything that he did under his government. So you pass an LI, abuse it, award mining leases to party cronies. They engage in illegal mining. The CID investigates. And then you come on national television and say that the person who has been fingered in that CID report is innocent and do nothing. We came into power.
The CID report that we are looking for. What
Absolutely. The Attorney General has based charges.
The current Attorney General.
Absolutely.
But you said Akufo-Addo ignored the CID report. But when was it presented to him?
But why? No, the report doesn't have to be presented to the CID.
It goes to the President.
It goes to the Attorney General.
But the Attorney General, Dami says he hasn't seen it.
Of course, but he would deny it, wouldn't he?
Oh, so you think he's denying it?
But why? Why would he deny it? Otherwise, what other explanation exists?
So you are sure that Dami received the CID report?
I'm saying that first of all, when the government of the day commissioned investigations, did Akufo-Addo not tell us that matter was being investigated? He told us. And then he came back to say that the investigations have found that he did nothing wrong. Is that not so? But I'm telling you that the CID had a report that the government was aware of, that they failed to act on.
And the former Attorney General was aware of it.
He knew it.
He says he's not aware of it.
If he didn't know it, then he didn't deserve to be in his position. Because why? How did this Attorney General know about the existence of a report?
Can you share that report? Is it possible?
It is not a problem. The point is that the Attorney
General...
date
on which it was done.
Paul, the Attorney General of the day cannot claim that he didn't know that a report like that existed. So, in fact, what they actually say is then that they didn't even investigate the claims against Amitama, which is even worse.
No, maybe you should call the Attorney General and ask him that the government minister says you were aware of a report. He says I'm not aware of a report.
What you are saying has grave implications for the competence of the
Attorney General.
No,
but he's telling me directly.
No, so what you are saying is that as Attorney General, as President, there were such grave allegations of environmental terrorism against a party chairman whom you had given a lease to operate in a forest reserve and you didn't investigate it.
No, you are saying two things. You see,
I'm not saying
you are a government minister.
I'm telling you
that there is a CID report.
I'm telling you for a fact that there is a CID report
which was given to the former Attorney General
2022
and handed over to the Akufo-Addo administration.
Given to government, which they didn't act on.
Yeah, but no, please let's be clear on that.
So
given to Attorney General, government, Jubilee House, who got the report and did not act on it.
I'm saying that the government of the day, the Attorney General, cannot claim that he doesn't know about it.
He's claiming precisely so.
The implication of what you are saying is that he was not fit for his office. And that indeed,
but you have to provide evidence that he got it.
By inaction, he was complicit in Galamsey. By inaction.
Oh, but that's unfair. That's really unfair.
I'm saying
that's really unfair.
No. Listen to my words carefully.
The Attorney General says he hasn't received any CID report.
Listen to my words carefully. I'm saying by inaction. I'm not saying that he's involved in Galamsey.
Why is the inaction?
The inaction is that there's an allegation. What he's saying means that he was not concerned. Okay? He was not concerned that a known figure in Ghanaian society, you even forget about the fact that he was MPP, a known figure in Ghanaian society, who had received a mining lease on the say-so of the president, had gone into the forest area, which is a protected zone, and carried out unlawful mining activity, which was deleterious to the environment. And he couldn't be bothered.
How couldn't he be bothered?
By what he said,
he couldn't be bothered?
If he was bothered, first of all, he has the power as Attorney General. Why? Dr. Inu. We woke
Are you talking about a dereliction of duty or a report that came to him?
It is. He is claiming dereliction of duty. But I'm
saying, he says he didn't receive reports.
But by saying so, he is claiming dereliction of. It was his duty to look into that matter. The same way Dr. Inu, when reports emerged that two NDC executives were involved in Galamsey, we woke up one morning, we heard him clearly direct Yoko to look into. As I speak to you, Yoko is looking into the matter.
But that's what the civil society was asking President Mahama. That wasn't mentioned.
Paul, if you let me land.
I thought you had landed.
If you let me land. I'm not landed. Moro, the point I'm making is that there's a CID report that the government was aware of. They didn't act. They concealed it. And there's
but you don't have evidence of that. I'm sorry, Minister. You really can't say that.
No.
You have to provide evidence to the press.
Paul, what you are canvassing is even worse than what I'm saying. What you are saying, that President Akufo-Addo...
No, you are making a valid statement that something happened.
I am.
And you are not able to defend it that it happened.
When the police CID work, they work up to the Attorney General.
Yes,
in fact, until recently, I didn't know that when it comes to investigations, it is actually the Attorney General who has jurisdiction over CID, not the Interior Minister. Godfrey Dami cannot claim that he was not aware of it. What he is saying,
he's claiming so that he's not aware of it.
Then I'm
asking Metro TV to perhaps contact the Attorney General and tell him that the government minister says he is aware of the report.
That is why I'm saying that by implication, through inaction, that he was complicit in Galamsey. I'm not saying that he was involved in Galamsey.
This is shifting the goalposts. This is clearly shifting the goalposts.
I'm not, but I'm telling you that it also speaks to the lack of seriousness on the part of your government. The same party.
But that's shifting the goalposts.
I'm not shifting the goalposts.
You said there's a report they ignored.
There is.
If they said they didn't see it, then they were complicit.
The charges.
Why are you picking and choosing?
Listen,
I'm not beginning to.
It's clearly shifting the goalpost.
It is just that you are intentionally refusing to let me make my point.
Please make your
point.
point.
Because you know that I'm making the point.
Please make the point.
There are two things. You are president. A controversy ensues. Indeed, this is a controversy that the president publicly spoke to. He told us that the matter was being looked into. Who was looking into the matter? It's police CID.
Your point is, so Felix, your point is that
it's not only police CID who is looking into the matter. When the president says a matter is being looked at, it could be Yoko. It could be police CID.
Who looked into the matter?
It could be the committee from the Attorney General's Office.
Who looked into the matter?
I don't know. You say that there is the CID report.
So you're saying that it is not possible for the CID to have looked into this matter without the Attorney General's
How
department.
is that possible?
Not knowing anything about
when the president says,
that's what he's trying to say. The Attorney General says that nothing of the sort came to his desk.
So
he must show it.
How
do you explain it?
Explain what?
Especially when Moro, if you let me land, I'm on the floor.
How do you know CID was working on something?
Moro,
I'm not saying
I'm the one on the floor.
No, how do you know that CID was working on it?
Based on what he said.
It could have been Yoko. It could have been CID. There are many investigative authorities.
No, he mentioned CID.
He's not providing the evidence for that. He's not able to.
I'm taking it based on what he said.
But what he said, he's not able to provide evidence. When you ask him to shift the goalpost to dereliction of duty, he talks about a report that is available. That tells us there's no report. They say, okay, if you don't have a report, there's dereliction of duty.
The reason why,
and that your complicity, Galamsey.
True inaction. You see, again, if you let me land, just hold your horses and let me land. Two issues have emerged. When the Akunta mining incident occurred, Moro, Paul, you know for a fact that President Akufo-Addo publicly spoke to it. He was the one who told us that the matter is being looked into, right?
Yes.
You are saying that you don't know which specific agency. So
he didn't say. The president didn't say.
So who was looking into it then?
It could have been Yoko.
I'm telling you that
you can now tell us. Yes, so you are now confirming.
No. Listen.
That is the CID.
It is the CID that looked into it.
Fair enough. And you said the report went to the Attorney General. The Attorney General says there's no such report.
Number two, when the CID finished, that report exists. The government didn't act. And it is not the first time. Professor Frimpong Boateng's report. Don't you know that it was concealed for several years after he had presented him to President Akufo-Addo?
Who said that?
Professor Boateng himself said it.
He himself said it?
He himself said it. Indeed.
Okay. So you believe Frimpong Boateng?
Oh, but why
Charles Bissiou, the secretary, says Frimpong Boateng's statement is not correct. Charles Bissiou, this week, he's the secretary to the committee. He says Frimpong Boateng's report is not correct.
Why? Why should we take the secretary's word and leave the word of the chairperson, the person that the president himself
Charles says he did the report.
But Moro, why are you interrupting?
This Moro.
Professor Boateng, he was the environment minister. President Akufo-Addo charged him directly to oversee the fight against Galamsey. The man compiles a report, presents it to the president, in which he names names. This report was concealed from you and I. It was not government that put it out. It was the media that leaked that report.
What's the consequence? The
consequence is that you have a history of concealing reports that indict your people. And I'm telling you that the CID, as far back as 2022, had this report. When the president said it was being looked into, it was the CID that was looking into it.
Okay, let's see what happens with the Joseph Yamin report.
It doesn't matter.
And then we can. It matters.
No,
because it's the same vein. And the civil society were concerned at your press meeting, at your meeting with civil society.
It is not the problem.
was concerned. He called it the elephant in the room. He said, you, Felix, and the president have ignored the elephant in the room, which is Yamin. That's what he said.
The elephant in the room was Akufo-Addo and the MPP.
Akufo and MPP are out of power.
But if you let me land, Paul, when you were speaking, I kept quiet for you. I disagree with your points.
Fair enough.
The elephant in the room
is Yamin.
Was that Akufo-Addo and his party, the MPP, found Galamsey as a source of funding. So they were complicit and were not prepared to fight it. It is the reason why they were concealing every important report from the people of Ghana.
So when the minority leader opened his statement with a quotation from Shakespeare and so on, I was sitting there and I was just wondering, what is this about? Where is he going? What point is he trying to make with this quotation? Now, I studied Shakespeare. Today, I still read Shakespeare. But I couldn't make head or tail from what he was doing with the Shakespearean quotation. Look at the population of Ghana. How many of us are completely illiterate? How many of us have the capacity even to understand Shakespeare? Me, I've read Shakespeare, I didn't see the relevance. Useless talk.
No, please, that's too much.
Oh, that's his opinion. I mean, allow him.
I said this.
Please allow him.
No,
I said
it's harsh.
It's harsh.
Look, when minority leaders, majority leaders, members of parliament debate in Parliament, I have no doubt that you expect your constituents to understand what you are saying. Am I lying?
Not all. Some may understand at some point.
So you speak in language in Parliament.
You speak that they will understand.
That we will not understand.
No, not that. I say some of them, at times, some may understand, others may not. But we try as much as possible to speak to their understanding.
Do you, in fairness?
Yes. I speak to their understanding.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Do you, in fairness, in all sincerity, believe that that Shakespearean quotation was understood by even 10% of the Ghanaian population?
No, but maybe that was what was going to ginger the...
So why are you saying that I'm being harsh when I say that it is useless?
But it may be useful to a percentage.
I'm saying that as a parliamentary speech, which is meant for our understanding, it was useless. Nobody understood what you were saying. Did you understand what you were trying to say? You, forget your constituents.
Oh, but we all read Shakespeare. So
did you understand?
I was waiting for him to finish his preliminary, then I can connect.
Did you understand what you were saying? If you understood, you tell us what you meant.
I'm saying, but I didn't let him finish so that I can contextualize.
No, the Shakespearean quotation was finished.
But it was supposed to lead to maybe an end.
So you tell us what he meant by that Shakespearean.
But he didn't get us to the end.
Completely useless. And when I say useless, I'm not being insulting. I mean, I couldn't understand it. I didn't know where it was taking us. What point he was trying to make. Maybe if the intention was to show that he's a learned man and he reads Shakespeare, fine. But in terms of the substance of the matter before the appointments committee, what did that mean?
Obviously.
Yes, sir.
First, as a young, his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. That's the quote.
You understand it?
I don't.
Huh?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't understand.
So what am I saying which is wrong? Did you understand?
Shakespeare's Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 7. That's what he got the quote.
So did you understand it?
Uncle Chris, what do you to us? What do you to us? Because let me leave it at where I understand it and let's move on. So this we have to train our people to understand literature more. How many of us are still doing literature?
You are the only hope he had to understand this. You say you don't know.
No, I don't want to encourage Chrissy in that part. He wants to take me on the path of unrighteousness. I don't want to go there. I decline that invitation. And once when Bolo said he doesn't understand.
You two say you don't understand.
I didn't say I don't understand. I said,
so who is he going to seek interpretation from?
My goodness.
Because our French is not reachable.
Why do you worry us like this?
You mean we have to go and read more literature?
Why do you punish us like this? We have elected you to go and serve our interests. Now, even the language you speak is Greek to us. What is this?
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.